In this video, we will explore the intriguing details of Mars' surface and atmosphere. But before we dive in, let's kick things off with a brief introduction to the red planet. Mars is one of the most explored bodies in our solar system, and it's the only planet where we've sent rovers to roam the alien landscape. NASA missions have found lots of evidence that Mars was much wetter and warmer, with a thicker atmosphere, billions of years ago. Now that we've set the stage with a glimpse into Mars' exploration and history, let's delve into the fascinating details of its surface. The red planet is actually many colors. At the surface, we see colors such as brown, gold, and tan. The reason Mars looks reddish is due to oxidization, or rusting, of iron in the rocks, regolith, and dust of Mars. This dust gets kicked up into the atmosphere and from a distance makes the planet appear mostly red. Interestingly, while Mars is about half the diameter of Earth, its surface has nearly the same area as Earth's dry land. Its volcanoes, impact craters, crustal movement, and atmospheric conditions such as dust storms have altered the landscape of Mars over many years, creating some of the solar system's most interesting topographical features. A large canyon system called Valles Marineris is long enough to stretch from California to New York, more than 3,000 miles, or 4,800 kilometers. This Martian canyon is 200 miles, or 320 kilometers, at its widest and 4.3 miles, or 7 kilometers, at its deepest. That's about 10 times the size of Earth's Grand Canyon. Mars is home to the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons. It's 3 times taller than Earth's Mount Everest with a base the size of the state of New Mexico. Mars appears to have had a watery past, with ancient river-valley networks, deltas, and lakebeds, as well as rocks and minerals on the surface that could only have formed in liquid water. Some features suggest that Mars experienced huge floods about 3.5 billion years ago. There is water on Mars today, but the Martian atmosphere is too thin for liquid water to exist for long on the surface. Today, water on Mars is found in the form of water ice just under the surface in the polar regions as well as in briny, salty water, which seasonally flows down some hillsides and crater walls. Having explored the surface, let's now turn our attention to the details of Mars' atmosphere. Mars has a thin atmosphere made up mostly of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. To our eyes, the sky would be hazy and red because of suspended dust instead of the familiar blue tint we see on Earth. Mars' sparse atmosphere doesn't offer much protection from impacts by such objects as meteorites, asteroids, and comets. The temperature on Mars can be as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or 20 degrees Celsius, or as low as about minus 225 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 153 degrees Celsius. And because the atmosphere is so thin, heat from the sun easily escapes this planet. If you were to stand on the surface of Mars on the equator at noon, it would feel like spring at your feet, 75 degrees Fahrenheit or 24 degrees Celsius, and winter at your head, 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Occasionally, winds on Mars are strong enough to create dust storms that cover much of the planet. After such storms, it can be months before all of the dust settles.